We're here with head coach Terry Horan as we look forward to the final home game of the season. Let's start by going back, as we always do, to last week's game on the road. Another tough game on the road, but we talked about it last week that you knew it was going to be a tough game because Hamline gets fired up, and they were. Talk a little bit about how football kind of swings on a couple of plays each game. Right. And the big one was, right off the bat, you guys score, and then the next possession you have an interception, and that pumps them up and gets them all excited. Could you feel the momentum change or kind of them get excited after that happened?
Very much so, and I talk about it a lot. There's always one or two plays that really kind of change the direction of a game, and that certainly was it. They open up the game and nothing to lose, and they try an onside that doesn't go the 10 yards, so we get it with a fairly short field, and we run a toss play to Brandon Zylstra, and he weaves his way in and out and scores on the very first play. And that's always kind of when you look at when things happen so easy right out of the gates, that whole mental mindset. Sometimes you can talk to your blue in the face about staying focused, but sometimes it's tough, even with college-aged athletes. But we get a 3-and-out defensively. We get the ball back, and we run a power play to Chad Johnson. He gets about 8-9 yards, and then we come back with a trips formation, just kind of a bubble, and it's a read route, and we just read it wrong. We threw the slant, it went off our kids' hands. They pick it off. They get into our territory, and a few plays later, they're in the end zone. Now it's 7-7, and you could just feel life, come out of us and get into them. And we knew we were going to be in for a dogfight. We make that play, we go down and score, we go up 14-0. Who knows? Could have been a total different game. But give those guys credit. They were coached up well, and coming off a lopsided loss the week before to St. Thomas, to have that fight and that courage was really amazing. And so I'm giving Hamline a lot of credit. They had us scouted pretty well, and the kids played hard.
Same thing last week that happened that I'm hoping you're going to think should happen this week if you're lucky. You had two huge long drives, scoring drives, especially one in the second half that took almost a whole quarter that you were able to rest your defense.
Yeah.
What has to happen when you guys grind out long drives like that? Is it just like a series of on the sidelines? Do you guys mentally say, all right, this is the drive that we're going to take, and we're going to try to get 14, 15 plays out of it? Or is it just the things that happen during the course of that drive?
Yeah, well, every drive I'd love to get 14 to 18 plays, let me tell you. I mean, that's just kind of how we roll. We want to get the run established, and we want to get the play action game working off our run, and with two dynamic playmakers like we have with Zylstra and Bounty in the perimeter, we want them to get touches too, and so we need to be two-dimensional. And in any of our drives, we like to see what's working and give a few different looks here and there just to see how they're defending us, and then as the game wears on, you have a really good feel of what we can do, and our offensive staff has done a great job. And we get great looks from our eyes in the skies with John Marsh and Terry Horan that relay information down to us on the sideline, and then it's a lot of gut feeling too, and a lot of times you kind of go to your bread and butter, which ours in our running attack is our triple option, and our kids have been executing, and you're right. In a lot of these games that we've had on the road, that we've had close games with, or even at home with Augsburg, we've had a few drives here or there that we've really chewed the clock. We've moved the sticks. We get a chunk here, a chunk there, third down, first down, or a fourth down, first down, however it is to keep the clock moving and to get first downs. But I love the 14 to 18 play drives. You're doing a lot of great things.
And on that note, let's look ahead to this week. You're playing 6th-ranked St. Thomas, who's had a great year. They're undefeated, and they've kind of lopsided scores like we talked about earlier against all the teams. For you guys, you've always matched up well. Last year was a great game. Came down to the last drive. What have you guys done well against St. Thomas that have kept you in the game, that has you match up really well against that team?
Well, first of all, they are a very good football team, and they just seem to be gaining steam. They're kind of like that big snowball that's rolling down the hill right now, and they're getting bigger and badder and tougher as they go. And it's a good football team. I think the biggest thing for us, with their offense and the experience that they have and the size that they have and how they love to run the football, and then they've got great play action because of their run and they're well coached. Defensively, it's tough to stop these guys. You try to slow them down, but I do know this: you need to be physical with them, and you got to get all 11 to the football. I mean, this is going to be all 11 being fundamentally sound on the defensive side of the ball, reading our keys and doing our job for us to have success defensively, and then offensively. We need those 14, 15, 16 play drives, and that's not easy to do against these guys. I mean, they're as athletic a defense as I've seen. They're a 3-4 front, and they got a great defensive scheme. They got great coaches on that defensive side of the ball, and they're athletic as get out. And then I think probably, the wild card in all of this is special teams. You look at all the rankings in almost every category. They're close to, if not at the top of the league, and our special teams need to have a great day.
We're going to have you rank in order what you would rather have in the course of the game. Stopping big plays, because St. Thomas has put up big plays, just where they go off for 50, 60-yard runs. Stopping big plays, holding on to the ball for a long period of time, or winning the turnover battle. Which is top to bottom is in ranking order for you guys on Saturday?
I've got a 3-way tie for number one on each of those categories. They've had, they have been able to get some big plays. Last year they had a few big plays, and they've got a lot of fight in them. They're never gonna stop battling, and nor are we. But I guess obviously you always got to want to hang on to the football. That the turnover ratio can really kill a team, and so you need to hang on to the football and not give it away and give short fields. So that's a tough question, Jim, because all three of those stats are extremely important in a game, and but if we give up the ball one time, that's going to be one too many.
Lastly, I know it's a big game because the conference title's on the line, but are you ever able to, during the course of the week, kind of sit back and just enjoy it? Because, everything that's gone into this year, you want to get to these games late in the season and have everything on the line. And I know it's nerve-wracking, but do you ever sit back and are able to tell the kids about this and yourself about, this is really fun to have at this time of the year meaningful football?
Well, yeah, and we talk about our kids, and rankings don't mean anything at this juncture, but the fact that you're 14 in the country and someone's taken notice of the hard work that you've put into it, there's some satisfaction there. And the fact that all that hard work in the off season, all that hard work in the summer when guys are going to the lakes and you're in the gym working out to get yourself ready for the fall, and then coming into fall camp, and you get to the 9th week of the season for us, and your bodies have been through a ton, to still be in the thick of it 4 years in a row, that's like unheard of. And so proud of our kids to get themselves back in this opportunity again, because some of these games when you play like Carleton and the Hamlins of the world, where their overall record isn't great, but we know we're going to get a good test, and we got tested by both those teams. First thing I said to our players is, you have to respect winning, because it isn't easy to do, and sometimes you can take it for granted, and I don't ever want our teams to ever take that for granted. We are not, we have to be that blue collar, bring your lunch pail and hard hat guy to work every single day, because when you look across the board, we might not always match up size-wise with some of our opponents and whatnot, but I'll tell you what, we are going to get after it, and we're going to play hard for 60 minutes, and it's shown with the way our kids have handled these last several years, and to get ourselves into this position again, that's my satisfaction. I don't rest until basically recruiting's over, so I'm still working on about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, so that's all good in my world.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks so much.